Bang. What's up, fuck faces? We are live with another episode of Punch Drunk. I am the one and only Jayson Thibault. Ungoogleable, as we've discussed. I'm here with the newest paid regular. Now, you were passed a while ago, earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But you got your name on the wall yesterday. Congratulations to my good friend and a hilarious comedian and big sports fan, Lucas Hirl, everybody. Lucas.
Thibault, thank
Hirl.
you. Thank you.
Now, why are we starting so late, one may ask?
Hey, last night was fun.
I woke up, set my alarm for 8:50 and 9:07. Those are the two times that I had set. 8:50, turned it off, and I think I just threw my phone, flushed it down the toilet. When the first alarm went off, I wake up the second time, and I say to myself, God, I hope it's not after 10 a.m., because then I'm going to have to hustle to get here at 11. It was 11:15.
You got it.
Missed call from Aaron, missed call from you, and so I apologize. We're late, but we're going to make it happen, and we're making it happen now. How cool was it to get your name on the wall of feeling,
Dude,
but I don't know yet?
It was, you will. It was amazing. Yeah. It was because I got passed about 10 months ago.
Yeah, you got passed a while ago.
Yeah, and Adam, when he called me, the one thing he said is like, I'm sorry, we just put new names up, so you're going to have to wait a while. So
It's going to be about 10 months, but I promise you'll get it up there.
And you never know with the store when that's going to like happen.
Well, you do actually.
Mitzi's birthday?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Mitzi's birthday is last week, so...
Yeah. I think
like
they couldn't get a hold
Wednesday,
of that guy who's that schlep that always does it? He's the same guy that's always done it, I hear?
No, they have a new guy now, though.
Is that a new guy?
It was a new guy yesterday.
Wow, that's why I didn't show up on Mitzi's birthday, this bozo.
No. Well, I mean, nobody was here. But Brenton told me Sunday night, he's like, by the way, your name's going on the wall tomorrow morning. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
So I think the fact that I had to wait 10 months kind of made it
almost
more special.
But did you forget about it in those 10 months? Because
Yeah.
you were doing spots. You're getting regular spots. You're doing the main room. You're doing the fucking OR late nights. And you're getting regular spots. Did that make you go, when Biddlecombe said that to you, did it make you go, oh shit, I totally forgot. I actually get my fucking name on the wall too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And, it just...
Because like Brad Williams got passed like 2 days ago or something.
Yes.
He was like right when they announced the guy is going to like, oh, we got the painter guy hooked up. Well, we better pass a couple of these people that should have been passed.
Right.
Him and somebody else that's like a no-brainer to pass. Like,
Taylor Tomlinson is
someone else.
one of the best. Brian Simpson.
And Jerron, but there was another person too.
Oh, Ron,
but there was another kind of like a more famous comic that doesn't really come.
Oh, Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. Yeah, that's enough. So Patton Oswalt and fucking Brad Williams, they probably were like, oh, and by the way, write their names too if you have a little more white paint left.
Oh, that's my favorite is when they pass like some big name.
Yeah.
Because they do it every year.
Oh,
like,
every year.
Sarah Silverman got passed a few years ago, and I said, this is going to do some big
Doug
things
Stanhope got
for
passed
your
a
career.
few years ago, and you're like, oh, no shit.
Yeah.
But those are the people that like didn't come through the system,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah,
they're
and I don't
not
think-
there every day. But they're just like famous, and they're like, hey, if you want to come by and do spots, David Spade, we'll type your name on the wall.
Yeah, Colin Quinn got passed too. And I had no idea that.
Right. But a lot of those people, the more famous ones, you never see there anyway.
No, you don't. But Patton Oswalt's been coming in, and it's been so rad because I grew up.
So is Brad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up with Patton Oswalt, and like he's the only person I've ever seen because I've been at the store. I started comedy there 8 years ago.
And how long have you been at the store?
I started comedy at the store, so 8 years ago.
So 8 years, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I started as a lot guy, and then after about a year, I became a bartender. But Patton's the only guy I've ever seen who just knew how to work the OR.
Right.
He really, if you ever watch him in there, he's a seasoned pro. It took him no time to like adjust to that room.
Right.
The darkness of it, whatever. I think he's just like perfect for it.
Yeah. He's like, oh, this is pretty much my family's Thanksgiving dinner. This is exactly how this always goes for me.
Yeah. So part of me also wanted to show up yesterday at like, 9, 10 a.m. and be like, hey, put me here.
What time? Well, yeah. You want to do that? I'm hoping to get my name on the dumpster. What time was that at?
I think he started a little bit after 11. Took him a couple hours.
Because you were there. Josh Martin was there.
Josh wasn't there.
Oh, he wasn't there. Jerron was there.
Yeah.
Because and that seems to be a tradition that a lot of people do is like you find out what time they're actually painting your name on the wall, and you just show up and watch this motherfucker paint your name on the wall. You know what I mean? Like, don't misspell my shit. Don't fuck. You know what I mean? Like, don't fucking.
Yeah, no, totally. Because I have a name a lot of people misspell.
Do you?
Yeah, they spell it with an HURL.
Oh, I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
I have a first and last name that is always misspelled.
Oh yeah. You have to be there when your name is up.
Yeah, with a lawyer.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting about I think the placement of your name is awesome, but I don't know if you've thought about this. It is directly straight across from the bar that you bartended at for so long, and pretty much the bane of your existence.
Yeah.
Your name is literally
Definitely
right across from the fucking. Definitely the bane. That's a band name.
Do you remember when Josh Martin had a patio mic out there?
Josh Martin.
During the day.
Oh, I do remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was complaining about a bad set one time.
I actually did it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Too. It was a great mic.
Josh Martin had a open mic, just so people don't know what we're talking about. But he would do an open mic outside at the patio bar during the day. The sun would still be up.
It'd be 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, so like the bar is going to open at 7, the club's going to open at 8, and from 5 to 7, there's going to be if you show up and any audience, and it was always people from the hotel across the street or across the parking lot. That's who always would audience members. It would be other comics, but random people that were just Australian. They're always Australian for some reason. They're like, oh yeah, it's a ton of jokes, eh?
Brenton, I was complaining about a bad set one time to Brenton. He's like, at least you've never bombed in front of your name, because his name is right by the stage where they would have the mic.
Oh,
And Brent would work the phones, and he'd come down and do a spot, and like eat shit right in front of his own.
That's hilarious.
Name. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
So that's perspective.
That is perspective. I always think about that as I was talking to Ron, and congratulations to everybody that got passed, or at least their names on the wall. No one's really very recently been passed, but I was talking to Ron about it, and I go, dude, think about that. That is your headstone. Like wherever you get buried, or if you get cremated or whatever, that's just for your few family members that outlived you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one's going to go to my grave in, Northwest Indiana or wherever I wind up being buried. And
that's where you're getting buried?
I don't know, in 2 months. But once I'm done paying it off. But wherever you happen, whatever your hometown or wherever you wind up getting buried, no one's going to go there and look at your name and wonder. But at the Comedy Store, in 100 years, someone's going to perhaps see your name and then go, oh, I'm going to Google that person. And then see your comedy. In a weird way, that is more important of a headstone, at least with your art, than whatever rock that they chisel your fucking name in and bury your carcass underneath.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to go to that fucking place and Google you or wonder about your art, or because now with the internet, that shit just lives forever. It just is out there. So your name being on that building is just an opportunity for people to still look you up. It's still, even postmortem keeps you relevant in a way.
Well, I don't even care about that. I mean, I just think that, my family would probably rather visit my name at the Comedy Store when I'm dead than go to some
goddamn right, of course,
podunk, Iowa graveyard.
Have you ever thought about how you would kill yourself?
Every day.
Yeah. What are your top? I'll give you my top ones. What are your top ones?
I mean, mine are all violent.
Yeah, me too. I want to get put in chains and then set on fire, and then on the top of a really tall building that's overlooking the sea. And then right before I burn to death, push me off of the building and then let me fall into the sea and drown. That combines everything that everyone's afraid of. Burning to death, drowning to death, and falling off of a big building.
I mean, which one of those is going to kill you?
I mean, it's really you pick 'em. Not the fall. The fall won't kill me. The fire may, but I think the drowning will be eventually what does it.
He made a great tweet like a week or two ago about if you're gonna jump off a building.
Who did, Anwar?
Yeah, He's like, if you're gonna jump off a building, hold a skateboard so people think you're trying a sick trick.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. And then the other one I thought was funny that I would want to do, which is the opposite of the one I just mentioned. I just want to put myself in a body bag and just zip it shut and just wait. Like eventually you're going to starve to death. or something. You'll just die eventually.
Man, you hate yourself.
I mean, I'm not a fan as much as I am. Yeah, you're right. Hey,
Oh, Steve, you're a loving man. Don't. Listen,
No, you said yours are violent. What are yours?
Well, I slipped my wrist once.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I bled.
At what
I bled
age?
a lot. 18
minutes ago.
Yeah, no, 18.
Was it over a girl?
No, it was more just frustration.
Uh-huh.
And it was like high school was ending.
And then you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
Might as well kill myself.
I remember this period really well because like I'd met Ted Nugent the day before.
Most people try to slit their wrist the day after meeting Ted Nugent.
Is that a fact?
That is a known fact. Yeah,
He's a really nice guy. But we were going to New York for like a little vacation the next day, and it's the worst pain I've ever had because when you do something like that, they stitch it up, but they don't. That's all they do, and your body just has to make a new vein because I severed a vein.
Wow.
And so like the worst pain was sleeping in New York.
Did you go this way or this way?
You can see it. It's like
wow. You actually have a pretty decent sized scar there.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So, but like sleeping that night, the first night in New York, my arm was killing me because like your body is rerouting its blood circuit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's frustrating as hell.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't recommend ever killing yourself or.
I don't either. Well, for some people, I do. If they're fucking really fucking assholes, but for the most part, I also agree with you. Do not kill yourself.
No, don't.
I just thought of a good one.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
I'm gonna go to the Kentucky Derby.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna walk up to a horse.
Ooh, I like where this goes.
To the back of it.
Make love.
Punch it square in the asshole.
With your dick.
With my fist.
Or fist.
And then either it or its jockey kicks me to death.
Well, I hope it's it because a jockey kicking you to death could take a long time because those guys are little.
That's true.
I mean, the jockey would be funnier.
Jockey or a bunch of jockeys would be funnier. Also, getting hit by like a clown car and then it takes like 50, like run over by a clown car and then 50 fucking people are just constantly getting out of this little car while you're fucking under it. I think that would be
Would a horse's kick, is that strong, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, a horse. You could
kick you to death.
Absolutely, easily. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
I know one of the biggest dangers is like old farmers, like dudes farming in their 80s and like trying to herd cattle. So a surprisingly large amount of people get injured doing that or die.
I'm not surprised by that at all.
Yeah.
That's a very hard job.
Yeah.
Farming, because you always wind up doing it into your 60s, 70s.
Yeah, and you're stubborn. You're like, oh, I've been doing this my whole life. I'm 80 now, but I can still.
All your tools have like duct tape around them, and you're fucking trying to. I mean, that's you grew up in a rural area as I did.
Yeah.
So you get how hard that is. I imagine you have either baled hay or detasseled corn.
I've detasseled. How do you know about detasseling corn?
Of course, I grew up in Indiana. Of course I do.
Oh my God.
That was a high school summer job, and it was the worst. But you would make good money.
Yeah, for a kid.
But for 15, 16, you would make good money.
Yeah.
But it was brutal days for like, you would do it for like a month.
Yeah.
And then you were like, fuck, man. I would cry.
Yeah, just because you'd come home dirty as hell.
Absolutely. You would, whatever you wore, detasseling corn, you would just throw it away at the end of the summer.
Yeah, you'd be muddy and sunburned.
Because you wouldn't even want to see it. Oh, sunburn for sure. Terrible sunburn.
I can't believe you did it.
Baled hay as well, baled hay.
But you know what I loved about detasseling corn is like the first job you had as a teenager, where like you would always go there in the back of somebody's pickup truck.
Absolutely, yeah.
And where
a few of you would be back there.
Yeah, and where you first learn really like you learn curse words when you're young, but you learn like sexual terms when you're like in the back of a pickup truck going to a crappy job.
Yeah, with some weird creepy guy that wants to suck your dick.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, wow.
There's like porno mags in the back of the pickup.
Yeah. Old man Wilson really is weird. He makes me feel funny. It's kind of like that. Now, you're
but it pays well.
We were talking last night. You're a big Bills fan.
Huge
Bills fan. Wearing a Bills shirt right now. And we were talking about this Shady McCoy situation. Now, that almost seems like an appropriate nickname for him now.
God.
Is Shady. Do you think, as a fan, that he did this? That what his girlfriend is claiming is that if anybody doesn't know what happened, the Bills running back, Shady McCoy, who is one of the better running backs in the NFL, even though he's probably around 29 or 30.
Yeah.
20, maybe 28, 29. But
he's at least 29.
Here's where he fucked up, and this is what you were I was saying last night. He and his girlfriend won't leave his house. He has a house in Atlanta that she won't leave. And he keeps trying to kick her out, but he needs to get like a sheriff to come by and evict her, but the way the laws are. So she's like, I ain't leaving for shit. I ain't leaving nothing. So she's not leaving. And then he has this jewelry that she says was a gift to her that he says was loaned to them to wear to events. And now he has to give that back or he has to pay for it. So it's like $80,000 worth of jewelry that they had loaned to them, which happens a lot. People always do that for award shows and stuff like that. So they're either like, you buy this or just return it. So he asked for it back, and she was like, fuck you, that's a gift. She's doing everything she can to fuck him over.
Yeah.
She's very, like a disgruntled ex. So he asked for the specific jewelry back, and she says, fuck you, N-word. I ain't giving shit back. And then a month later, coincidentally, she is a burglar, breaks into their house, and only steals exactly what the burglar was looking for, the exact same jewelry, coincidentally. Beats the shit out of her. Hit her with a gun, her face is all fucked up. Now, we were saying last night, it does look suspicious because of that fact. Like, if he did do that, if he did set her up and he paid this guy to go re-steal all that shit, steal a VCR too. That's what we were saying last night.
Yeah,
like
steal some random shit. Steal some like crackers out of the cabinet, whatever.
I need this necklace, and this bracelet, and this watch. But also, grab the VCR, grab from some fucking silverware or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't only steal these things, because she has a text message where I'm asking for those things from you. You know what I mean? That's why she said she was set up, because she had a text where he's like, hey, I need this back, this back, this back, this back. They're asking me for $80,000 for it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I want to return it. And she's like, fuck you, N-word. That's a gift. I'm keeping that. You ain't getting shit, blah, blah, blah. She's a pissed off crazy bitch, right?
The girlfriend's black, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's calling him the N-word. It's not.
Yeah. No. Even if it wasn't,
You're right.
she's black enough to be
Right.
dating Shady McCoy. I don't know if they were married or...
No, they weren't married.
Oh, okay.
It looks really bad. I'm surprised that he's not suspended. I'm shocked. He's
Well,
not.
but all it is like her word against his word, really. It's just her word
It is,
against his word.
but they've suspended AP for worse, or for less, in a way. Like,
yeah.
like
that was
like,
a weird one. Wasn't
it was
that
a weird one. They just like held him out for a year.
Well,
he
you
still
know
got
what?
paid,
Because
I think.
because the little kid had scars. Not scars. Well, yeah, scars, I guess. Not
Yeah.
permanent scars, but at least you could tell that he had been hit with a switch.
But he wasn't suspended, right? He was like exempt but paid. What was that situation?
I don't recall, but I think he was suspended.
Okay.
I think he.
So Goodell does Goodell have the power now that he did 4 years ago when he suspended Adrian Peterson?
I don't think anybody. I think the fucking NFL is being run by Trump right now. I really think he's got them by the
Did
goddamn
you see what
balls.
LeBron said? I saw it on CNN this morning about Trump's trying to ruin sports.
Oh, I agree with that. Well, the thing is this: is like, and people can say whatever they want. Now, I don't think that Trump's beef is the anthem or patriotism, and clearly he doesn't understand what they are protesting. When I say they, I mean the African-American NFL players that are taking a knee, because they are saying, I'm not going to honor a country that is allowing this police brutality on my race of people. And that's really what it always was. It never was anything about troops. It was nothing about fuck America. It was nothing about, I don't like the anthem as a song or a whatever, It was just like, hey, I want to bring some awareness to the fact that at that point in time, 2 kids under the age of 20 and 2 adult men were either choked to death or shot to death just because they were black and looked like somebody or whatever. So they're like, hey, man, this is starting to be a problem, and let's bring some awareness to it by protesting. Trump made it about this and that and the other thing. But really, Trump's boner has always been the NFL. When he became president, he was like, I'm going to find a way to fuck the NFL up because they wouldn't let me buy the Buffalo Bills
You're
in the
exactly
fucking
right.
in the
Exactly.
70s. And then I tried to sue him for a monopoly, and I won the lawsuit, and it was only $1, a check for $1. He's hated the NFL since 1986, since the USFL, and before that, because they wouldn't let him and his father buy the Bills.
Not even in the 70s. He wanted to buy the Bills when Ralph Wilson died, like just a few years ago.
Oh,
It was the weirdest group of investors, like battling. It was like a group of three people. It was three people trying to buy the Bills. It was Trump, Bon Jovi, and
I recall Bon Jovi's always had a boner for the NFL.
yeah,
He has
he has an
arena league team
yeah,
in Jersey. I believe.
But here's
The New Jersey Lip Syncers.
seriously,
I believe is what they're called.
Google this. It's hilarious because this story came out like a year ago. But allegedly, Bon Jovi claimed, because a lot of Bills fans hated Bon Jovi, and his music was boycotted by Buffalo stations because people thought he wanted to move the team to Toronto.
Oh, okay.
And then about a year ago, I read this story about how a lot of people think that was started by Trump. That rumor that, hey, he wants to move your team to Toronto.
Well, that
Don't
seems
let
like
him
his MO right now.
like he's the
It
king.
really does seem like what he would do.
I totally see that happening. Fortunately, neither of them got it, and the Pagulas did, and they're Buffalo natives.
Yeah.
So the team's staying there, which I don't care. I'm not from Buffalo, but I'm a Bills fan, so I want the
You don't want them to
fans
move.
happy. Yeah,
That's a good fan base, too, even though
and I want money
It's a
invested
small
in the
market,
team.
yeah.
Oh, it's a great fan base.
great fan base. I mean, it's literally that and Niagara Falls are the only things that are right there.
Yeah.
And both of them, they don't want to leave.
No.
I don't know how you could get Niagara Falls to leave, but
No, man. My favorite Bill of all time, though, is Doug Flutie. I thought about wearing my
Flutie
Flutie
Flakes is your
t-shirts.
favorite?
Yeah. Mark Ellis has a box of Flutie Flakes. He's like, you want it? I'm like,
mine's probably Norwood.
oh, really?
Wasn't that the kicker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always liked him.
Poor
I always felt
Norwood.
bad for him.
Did you see the Four Seasons of Buffalo?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Almost, it's emotional.
Yeah.
Like you watch it, you really feel everything he felt and everything he had to go through.
Oh, when they brought him to the parade.
And they were just cheering for him.
Yeah.
After that, that's really that exact moment is what makes me always think of them as a great fan base.
Yeah, because that's
Because
why.
they still they don't like if that happened in Philly. I'm not saying Philly's not a good fan base. It's just more. It's an angrier kind of cuntier fan base. Like if that would you would just get booed out of like you would never get to. You would have to change your fucking social security number and go in a witness protection program.
Yeah, it's kind of why I hated Cubs fans for the longest time, is how they treated Bartman.
Oh, that's another great example of that.
That poor guy.
Anybody in that position where you see a ball coming right down to your head, you're going to try to catch it. You're not factoring all of that in.
No, he's
Anybody
listening to the
would've
game
done
on the
that.
radio too.
And he was
So
just
he's
a
like, there's
regular
like a
Joe.
3-second delay.
He wasn't even an asshole or anything. He was just a regular guy.
Yeah,
You know,
he was a great fan. He
Huge
loved
fan.
the Cubs.
loved him, and he had to. He had to leave the city.
Yeah.
Like he pretty much
Didn't you go
did,
to witness protection?
almost. Almost.
Okay.
Like he had to get as close to like undercover as you could. Death threats. Just regular guy, a fan of fans was getting death threats.
In such hell too, because it happened like
And
right before
death-
Halloween. So a
but-
bunch of people dressed up as Bartman for Halloween.
But death threats as his favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
Like he was a diehard Cubs fan and loved the Cubs. So much so that he had bought playoff tickets.
He loved the
Expensive
Cubs so
playoff
much
tickets.
that he went to a playoff game while listening to the game on
a
headphones
on a Walkman or whatever.
while
the fuck.
there.
Yeah.
Like he's that nerd.
Yeah.
That's a
And
special nerd.
And now that thing that you love the most, it's almost like if like pornography turned its back to Sam Tripoli. You know what I mean? Like if pot turned its back to Ari Shaffir. And every stone in the world was like, fuck you, bro. Don't ever fucking smoke pot again. Ari's like, I love pot so much. But I love it. Now what am I going to do with my spare time? You know what I mean? Yeah. His favorite thing was the Cubs. And everything in the world was like, not only can you not like the Cubs, you are the cancer to the Cubs.
But the way the fans treated him.
It was terrible.
And Moises Alou overreacting like that.
Yeah, there's no guarantee Alou catches that ball.
Yes.
He's a good
Not at all.
outfielder, but
Not at all.
like the
And-
umpires didn't even call fan interference. So it's
Right.
like,
And Alou just loses his shit.
yeah. And
He
if-
overplayed it like, oh, I could have caught that.
And if Alex Gonzalez makes the routine ground ball play like the next play,
Aaron, thank you for remembering that because so many people don't.
Aaron's not a very big baseball fan. He's much more of a soccer
no,
guy.
don't care for it. Yeah.
He's a soccer
Are you
guy.
really a soccer fan?
No, I love baseball. Only.
Okay.
He loves how much baseball we talk on the show.
Are you only a baseball fan?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, you're old school. Who's your team?
Cardinals.
He's a big
Oh.
Cubs guy.
See, I like the Cardinals because the Cubs hate them.
Well,
I've always loved the Cardinals. I'm a White Sox fan. So
Does that make you a Cub hater?
No,
Okay.
but I remember when I was in college and the Sox won the series against the Astros,
Yeah.
and a bunch of my Cubs fans, because I went to the University of Iowa, and a lot of Chicago people, a lot
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
Polish Chicago
Yeah,
people,
absolutely.
A lot of them went to the White Sox parade.
Oh, Cubs?
Yeah,
Well, trust me, I was at the Cubs parade. There were a lot of White Sox
Yeah.
fans at that.
Okay,
too.
that's cool.
That's just celebrating the city itself.
Yeah.
That's a reason to party and drink during the day and take the day off work.
didn't the Cubs parade have like 2 million people? It was the biggest
5.5.
parade ever. Oh my god,
5.5 million, and it was top 10 biggest public gatherings ever, and 7 of the 10 are all like pilgrimages to fucking Mecca,
Yeah.
and like like the end of World War II,
Yeah.
like crazy shit like that.
That's insane.
There might have been one other sports one, or that may have been the only sports one. It was nuts. I mean, 5.5 million fucking people.
Dude, I love October baseball, and I love it for all the reasons because I hate summer baseball. It's slow, it's dramatic.
Yeah,
That was the best World Series I've ever seen, and I'd
The
say
Cubs one?
yeah,
that was amazing.
in the last decade,
I mean, when you go,
we've been spoiled.
they're down in the series, and then it finally goes to 7, and 7's on the road, and it goes to extra innings. Then there's a rain delay during extra innings. I mean,
It's too much, man.
it was unbelievable.
God, you couldn't.
Definitely the best Game 7
Yeah.
we've ever seen.
Sure.
I still think Arizona, New York, 2001 was my favorite
Really?
of all time. Yeah.
Did that go 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Extras in 7. Yeah.
A lot of people were rooting for New York in that series too, and
Yeah,
just because of 9/11, which
Boston winning was pretty exciting. That was a good series too. But
Just
that was
'cause they
almost
beat
it was
no,
almost
yeah, Aaron's
the
not gonna approve of
ALCS.
that.
The
Oh, the
ALCS
ALCS, yeah,
was
for sure.
stole all the thunder of that, and then they kind of just rolled into the series with that. But that was
I hated
was-
when
I
Boston.
I was so like, we can fucking take the Yankees, but that pitching staff, Pedro, Schilling, I'm like, we can't
Yeah.
do it. And we had 105 wins that year, and still,
wow.
They swept
That
us.
sucks.
like we weren't even there.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Wait, now the Cardinals Rangers World Series, right?
Yeah, 2011.
Did that go 7?
Yes, but 7 was very uneventful. 6 was the big one.
I love that series though.
Yeah.
I remember watching almost every game, and that was when I really realized, like, God dang.
What sports did you
baseball
play
and
growing
fall's
up?
the
What
best.
sports did you play growing up?
Any? Oh yeah, I played a lot of basketball.
Mhm.
Played in different leagues, AAU, whatever. That was
Sure,
probably
sure.
my best sport. Baseball.
Mhm.
Baseball was my favorite sport to play. But in Iowa, you can only play it a few months a year. I was
Yeah.
always jealous of kids that grew up in Florida, California, got that year-round baseball.
Yeah.
And then I got
Those are called Major League Baseball players now,
exactly,
by the way.
dude. No, like seriously, Iowa doesn't have many.
Yeah, in Iowa and Indiana and the Midwest, you can play baseball for 90 days out of the year.
Yeah,
Unless you're playing like indoor shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But like the actual outdoor 9 people, in the field, there's 100 days where you can play baseball.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I was a wrestling state, and I never
Oh.
wrestled. But
Surprises me.
You know Dan Gable?
No.
Okay, he's the best amateur wrestler ever. It was in the Munich Olympics, I believe, that nobody scored a point on him,
Oh, wow.
which is like winning Wimbledon just with serves.
Yeah.
Is what I think Tim
He
Ferriss said.
he was on. He went to where? Your high school or something?
No, he's from he's from Waterloo.
Iowa and Nebraska is just like dudes that just know how to wrestle. They just want to fucking pin you to the ground.
That's
and
it.
Fucking.
That's why I don't ever
cauliflower ear.
I don't fight anybody who's like shorter than 5'5" and like bony,
Yeah.
because those people, they got leverage.
Yeah.
Like, because us basketball players, we'd always fight the wrestlers. You know, it's just kind of just like Crips and Bloods
Sure.
in Iowa. And we'd always fight them before like practices sometimes. And we go to the wrestling room where they practiced. And the wrestlers always practiced by the boiler room. Like they were intense. They had no circulation in that room. And it's just a room full of mats, so it's fun to fight in. But they always kicked our asses because we're tall and they're short. And
Yeah.
They they got muscles, and like you said, the cauliflower ear, they don't give a fuck.
Aaron said it best. He was talking about Aaron used to be a bouncer, a door guy, and he's like, I always used to look for people that had weapons. You know, back in the day, you would look for people with weapons, and he goes, and now you just look for cauliflower ear.
Yeah, it'd be the. I would look at people's eyes and hands to determine whether or not they were a threat.
Yeah.
And now it's cauliflower ear.
Eyes and hands. How do you tell with the eyes and hands?
Eyes, you can tell whether they have what kind of personality they got, if they're going to be an asshole or whatever. And then hands was always just, if they had anything in them.
Like calluses?
No, just if they had a weapon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I always look for
But now,
boners.
now with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu taking over the world, it's like, everyone's a weapon. You see those ears,
Oh yeah,
they can kill.
yeah. When I watch a UFC fight, I always think the guy with the most cauliflower ears is gonna win.
Dude,
Some
there's
of
this
those
girl.
Brazilians with like puffy ears, like he's gonna kick his ass.
There's this girl I met that I kind of have a little bit of a crush on, and I met her at the store. So then I was following her on Instagram, and she is like maybe a year into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
And she posts a lot of videos, and she's really into it. She's not that good at it,
Yeah.
but she's only like done it for a year, but she's really, really into it. And she posts all these videos of her like learning and kind of coming up in BJJ, and I'm like, that is so fucking hot. You know why? Because that's a woman that can take a punch. She's training to how to get choked out professionally and take a punch. What's hotter than that, bro?
Yeah. No, man.
I love it. I really do think it's hot. Like a chick training in BJJ to me was hot, and I didn't see that coming. But when I was looking at her videos, I was like, God damn, I think this is actually helping her case. I don't know what I find so hot about it. I'll tell you what. Let me tell you this.
It's nice. I like women that can fight back.
I mean, not good enough. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to be like abused
You don't like a challenge?
by her, but I do. Yeah, I like a challenge.
Okay, good.
And I also like if you were to smack a bitch up, let's just say, back in the old days of like a couple weeks ago, everyone's like, oh, you can't hit a woman, blah, blah, blah. Now, clearly, she's paying people to hit her.
Yeah,
I'll do it for free and just kind of like help her.
I think every guy kind of wants a Ronda Rousey.
I think to at least see.
Yeah, I grew up on American Gladiators, so like
I remember that shit.
I'm kind of turned on by women that look like trannies.
Oh, really?
Not that aren't
So is everybody else on this show, apparently. Oh, by the way, I don't know where Ari is, but I believe Edinburgh. Go see, if you guys are around and you're listening to this today, tonight is Comedy Chaos at the Comedy Store. The first show's sold out, so you can't even get into it, so don't even try.
I think the second one is too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, then fuck off, guys. You fucked up. 2 opportunities to see Rogan and Schaub and Bobby Lee and every single person at the Comedy Store that ever lived.
Theo.
Theo, everybody's at Tripoli's show tonight. So, but it's every other week. So check out Comedy Chaos next week. I will be at the dojo at Sycamore Tavern.
Yeah.
Friday at 8 o'clock. Sandy Danto and I are doing this kind of like improv show, which should be very fun. So please come check that out. I'll be at the store this week. I'll be at the Chum Bucket all of Shark Week. And I will be at the 11 Fingers Inn teaching my Road to Glory Hole seminar. So come check that out. That's tonight at 2 a.m. What do you got? You got any dates? You got anything you want to plug? Ari's in Edinburgh, so if you guys are there, check that out. He'll be there for pretty much till Christmas. And go to samtripolilive.com, and you can see where Trips is going to be. Tripoli will be back next week, by the way.
How many of those gigs you just listed off are real? The Chum Bucket, that's real?
Nope, none of it. Usually just the first one is real.
Okay. Well, you know what? I might stay. I live 3 blocks away from the dojo, and I love that room. That's
It's
such
fun,
a
dude.
fun.
It's really a fun. And the one Sandy and I are doing, I guess it's like there's like a panel of people, and there's only 3 guests, but it's almost like a Whose Line Is It Anyway kind of a thing, I guess.
Okay, what time's that?
I think it's at 8.
Okay, I might stop by.
Swing by, man.
Yeah, I love that room. Trevor.
Do you work Friday? Trevor's great.
Yeah.
He's also from Chicago.
Oh, I know. He's a Sox fan too.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I saw him.
He's told me.
Okay. And I filmed actually. I like filming in that room because it's like a New York club.
It is like a New York club.
Yeah. That place is gonna take off.
I agree.
Okay, dates. Wednesday, Names Night. So
which is a great show. Explain to everybody what.
Just all the newest paid regulars go up on the OR.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
Everybody that got their name on the wall it's pretty much half the lineup of the OR.
Yeah. And then I'm in Chicago in 2 weeks.
Where are you going to be?
16th through 18th. Dope ass comedy show that Friday night. Or I'm sorry, that Thursday night. I apologize. Saturday we'll be at the Laugh Factory.
I love that. Have you done that Laugh Factory?
No.
It's great. Huge. It's huge.
Is it?
It's twice the size of the LA one. I think it holds 400.
God.
One time I was there because they always give me guest spots whenever I go home, and I was there. And before I checked out the showroom, Brian, the guy that runs it there, he goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry, man, we don't have that many fucking people." I'm like, "No worries, dude. Thanks for the guest spot." You know.
Yeah.
When you hear that in LA, that means there's fucking 60 people in there.
Yeah.
There was like 220 people in there. And it was like half full. And he was like, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, I walked in expecting like 50.
Yeah.
And it was like the whole bottom was totally full, but just the top wasn't. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy cool. What do you mean you're sorry? There's 200 plus people here. It's a beautiful club.
Part of me wishes I'd known the stand-up scene in Chicago because I always just associated it with improv in Second City.
Well, it's only been really great stand-up wise for like the last like 10 years. It was always just Second City and improv and that for a long time, and they had like 2 or 3 clubs.
Yeah.
Now it's booming stand-up wise.
Yeah. Totally.
And it's still great improv, but it's booming.
It's booming. Like they have, like, what is it called? Comedy Bar? Is that a new place?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's about 4 years old.
Okay. Because when I started,
it's over by the river, but yeah.
Okay. When I started, all I really knew was Zanies.
Yeah. There's 3 Zanies in the area, but the main one's downtown. And yeah, and there used to be an improv and it closed, but now there's a bunch of shit.
God, but you look at some of the guys that came out of there too,
Sure.
like Kinane and
Hannibal and fucking
Camille. Is that how you say it?
Yep. And TJ.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that came out of there.
So I wish I'd known.
Kinane's so funny, man.
Oh, he's amazing.
Matt Bronger, another one.
Yeah.
John Huck.
Yeah.
Who's hilarious.
Yeah, I forgot that Huck.
He and I were open micers there together.
Really?
Huck Kinane and I.
That goddamn
Huck Kinane and Bronger and I used to drink all the time.
Kinane drinks? No way.
Oh yeah, imagine that. Yeah, me and Kinane have had a couple beers together, but we were all open micers, so we would just take turns. Like one person would drive, and then everybody else would just get schnocker and just hit every open mic that we could. Damn. Back in like the mid '90s. That's crazy. Mid-90s.
Were you doing like the Rosemont Zanies?
Oh, of course.
Okay, how far is Rosemont from like Chicago?
If you're in a car, maybe without traffic, 40.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like going to like an Angels game from Hollywood. You know what I mean? It's almost like Disney-ish distance.
Okay.
Know?
I love that city
Just
so much.
Suburb. Suburb. What, Rosemont or?
No, Chicago. I mean, the
Oh.
first time I ever went there, I was a kid.
It's the best.
We were visiting Northwestern with my brother.
Did your brother go to Northwestern?
He didn't. He didn't.
Okay.
He went to Iowa in the end, but I'll never forget. Like, what a beautiful campus. And
the whole city's wonderful.
Yeah.
It really is my favorite. It's my favorite city in America.
you go there like during Taste of Chicago?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, Court McCowan flipping us off. You know, I'm going to give him a thumbs up.
Oh, go ahead and give him a thumbs
Counter
up.
his middle finger.
Should have told him to come in. Here's a great thing you should do.
Yeah?
If I know you love music, you go to a lot of events. If you guys ever need tickets to anything, I have a great idea what you should do. Download the app SeatGeek. Use that on your phone. And here's what's great about SeatGeek. I just went to a concert recently. I went to go see We Were Promised Jetpacks, a band you probably a lot of people have never heard of. Guess who heard of them? SeatGeek, no problem. Somebody was like, hey, this band's going to be in town. And I'm like, I bet SeatGeek has it. Sure as shit. Bang. Now, I've already used my code several times, so I don't get the discount that you guys will get. But if you put in the promo code PUNCHDRUNK, that's the promo code PUNCHDRUNK, you get $20 off the first ticket you buy to anything. You want to go to an Angels game? You want to go to Zanies in Chicago if you happen to be in Chicago? You want to go to the Laugh Factory and see my good friend, newest paid regular Lucas Hirl at Zanies or the Laugh Factory in Chicago? Put in the promo code PUNCHDRUNK, you probably can see him for free because you get $20 off of it, and that's probably about what that ticket costs. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you're looking to do, all the tickets prices are guaranteed. You're not going to get shifted or fucked over. No one's going to rip you off. And wherever you are, like when we were in New York, and I was just like, what's going on? You know what? I don't want to say suck because I love doing the festival we were doing. But I was sitting in the green room, and I literally was using SeatGeek to just see. Well, I'm in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. What's around what I'm at? You know, is there a fucking hockey game going on right now? Is there a baseball game? I wanted to see like who's in town, what concert. And then while I was in Brooklyn, you know who was at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn? Or no, it was Madison Square Garden. They were in the city, 20 minutes away. One night only, fucking Radiohead.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude, how cool would it have been to go see Radiohead on a fucking Saturday night at fucking Madison Square Garden? But I was doing the festival, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
But I was like, holy shit. I wouldn't have even known that one of my all-time favorite bands was in the exact same city I was at the same time I was there, if it wasn't for my good friends at SeatGeek. So highly recommend you getting the app, and I highly recommend you using the code PUNCHDRUNK the first time you buy tickets on there, because you will buy tickets. They're all guaranteed, and you need tickets. They got them. So thank you to our good friends at SeatGeek. Suck it. Do you go to a lot of concerts? You do. You're
not as much anymore. I used to. I went to Coachella one year, a couple years ago with Biddlecombe. I think that's the way to do it. Like, don't go to any concerts all year, and then go to like a festival once a year, and like get like 20 bands out of the way.
I've been loving comedy festivals lately. I've done a couple recently.
Oh God, I can't. I'm going to Skankfest next year. It sounds like.
Oh my God, it was so fun.
There's like 90% dudes.
Well, the All Things Comedy Festival, and by the way, guys, I'm willing to bet you might even be able to find tickets for that on SeatGeek. All Things Comedy Festival is the October 25th to the 28th in Phoenix. If you guys are fans of Punch Drunk or 92.7 The Pod or anything that's going on here at All Things Comedy, I really recommend you guys going to the All Things Comedy Festival. It was so much fun. Aaron, it was a blast last year, right?
So much fun.
This year is guaranteed to be more fun than last year.
God.
I remember, okay, so there's two hotels that we're all in two hotels. I don't know if this will be the same, but this is how it was last year. And then there's the comedy club, and then there's the pop-up studio where everybody was doing podcasts all day. Now, but during the day, there would be these events of like a pool party at one of the, pools of the hotel, whatever. So, and Yusef was staying at that hotel. I was staying at the one across the street. So I go, hey man, are you going to the pool party thing that's in your hotel today? He goes, yeah, I'll be there. So I go there, and right when I walk in, I'm early. Only people I see is Eric from the store.
Yeah.
And he's standing there by the bar having a drink. And then it's like, if you have your lanyard thing, it was like free booze, I think, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I go over there, grab a cocktail my damn self, and I see the only person that's just laying out in the sun is Nick Yusef by the pool. So I walk over to him, and I go, hey, how's it going? He goes, just checking out the view. Now, when he says that, I think it's going to be a hot chick, right? So I lay on a thing, turn around and look at the pool. One person is in the pool, Doug Stanhope. in a full suit. He had a yellow sport coat, a necktie, a shirt, and he's getting water up to his fucking waist.
Yeah, things dry
And
clean
he's
only.
smoking a cigarette, and he's got a goddamn cocktail. But he's in the pool in a suit, drinking, and it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm like, this is going to be a fun party.
Dude, that festival's like an hour-long drive for him. That's it.
If this is how this starts, this is going to be fucking awesome. And it was super fun. So yeah, there's podcasts all day. And then every night, it's a fucking two shows, 10 people per show. And it's just like, you know, Kreischer, then Stanhope, then me, then Tripoli, then Ari, then fucking Bill Burr, then fucking... The lineup is like insane. And everyone just does 12. And then there's 2 shows. And then you go to bed and you wake up and you go to a bunch of parties all day. And then you do a couple podcasts and then you do another set. It's awesome as fuck.
That to me is how stand-up shows like that should always be. Whatever level you're at. Like,
I love
I love
Skankfest.
it when people do like 12 minutes. I love
Yeah.
I love Burr, but you know, and I'd love to see him do an hour. I've seen him do 2 hours before in person, but like seeing a guy like him have to condense 12 minutes.
And the same thing with Rogan too. Like, you know, Rogan will do back-to-back 15 minutes or whatever and do like, he'll do 4 spots a night and he's hilarious. Don't get me wrong. But to watch Rogan do the exact same, he gets a light at 10 and then wrap it up with 2.
Yeah.
That everybody else is doing at a festival like that is fun.
Yeah, like as a stand-up comedian, I'd rather see like 6 different guys than like 2 dudes.
Then, yeah, one guy do 5 and then one guy just do
an hour.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's why these festivals are so fun because there's such an array of everything, you know, that you're not just like, hey, this is, you know, I'm watching Bill Burr all weekend where you're like, wow, I got turned on to like 9 different comics.
Yeah.
I didn't really know. I knew his stand-up. I knew his special. I knew him from the game reality, fucking America's Got whoever, but Felipe Esparza.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know him too well. We knew of each other. We'd say hi, but that whole weekend, me and him hung out like quite a bit at the last one and kind of became buddies. And then we came back to LA and about a month went by, we hadn't talked to each other. But I remember like, hey, at summer camp, he and I got along really good. Mm-hmm. And then I walked in here and he was, that's what it felt like. He was recording in here and he goes, hey, fool, I've been thinking about you, man. You were so funny when we were in Phoenix. I'm like, cool, okay, because I have the same crush on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But had I not gone to that, I wouldn't have probably sought out his comedy or whatever. I knew who he was. If we were on the same show, I maybe would have watched him. But, you know, we hung out and smoked pot and made each other laugh and talked about our families and all that kind of shit. You know, that's what's so fun about these festivals.
Hanging out with your friends in different cities
is the best. And like when you can do it with 15 of your friends or 30 of them that you started a goddamn network with here, you know what I mean? It's almost like our corporate Christmas party. It just happens to be in October.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of what it feels like. And then Aaron was getting so much fucking pussy, dude. This guy, Aaron, how much pussy did you get?
I mean, can I say all of it?
Well, because your wife was not there,
I think you just did, Aaron.
Your wife was gone, right? She was not there.
She was not there, no.
Yeah, but dude, this guy couldn't keep it in his pants.
I mean, I had a suite. I had to use it all.
What, dude? One time, Aaron and I are coming back from like the show or something. I think he was relatively sober, but I definitely was not. And so we walk in the hotel, but like all the way down the way, I could see there's like some people in the hotel, like 2, 3 in the morning, and there was like this like big pillar right here as we're walking this way, and I'm like, yo, man, what room number are you in? And Aaron's like, there is no way I'm gonna tell you what room number I'm in. Do you think I'm stupid to tell you my room number? And I go, that's fine, man. You don't have to fucking trust me. I get it. But what floor are you on, though? Because I'm trying to maybe we're on the same floor. I don't know. He goes, oh, I'm on the 7th floor. And then I yell, right when he says he's on the 7th floor, I yell all the way down the hall, hey, my name's Aaron. I live on the 7th floor, you dumb bitches, or whatever the fuck. And then I duck around that pillar. So then when everybody turned and looked, it was just him standing there. I wanted to yell his room number so bad, but he's like, I'm not going to tell you my room number. Do I look stupid?
But you knew it?
No, I didn't know it. I wish I did.
No.
Do you remember? He still won't tell me.
He still won't tell you.
I was on the 14th floor, so.
Okay, whatever.
But
14th.
it's
That's
the
what it was.
secret, the 13th floor. You mean?
Yeah.
Isn't that
That's one
weird?
of those.
No hotels have 13th floors,
Yeah. Or a lot
or
don't.
14th is
A
actually
lot.
the 13th.
A lot don't. Yeah,
Okay.
right. That's so weird. Like, it's silly.
I mean, some people like 13's their lucky number too, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Dan Marino.
I mean, what if you're born on the 13th? You're just like, I guess I'm.
I am.
Are you really?
Really?
Yeah.
The 13th of what?
October.
No way.
Dude, you're all sorts of rebel there.
Yeah.
God.
I'm the 16th, but not.
Like,
of
that's the
October.
worst month to have the 13th in, too, is October. The Halloween month?
Yep.
Dude, you must be.
I turned
Satan.
13 on Friday the 13th.
Wow. No wonder you're always so mad at everything. No wonder you beat your wife. Do you know he beats his wife? Well, that's what she tells me. But I think she's just doing that for sympathy and for some of the sex games she likes to play with me. But how is everything going with the wife? Update us on your pregnancy attempts.
Great.
You still giving her the spray down?
Yep.
Now you're leaving it in for that, right?
In.
Yeah.
Shit.
See, dude, that's the thing. That's what I was telling you, man. You can't get her pregnant.
Fuck.
Coming all over her stomach or your stomach, or is she in the? Are you having sex with her?
Shit.
Aaron, we got to talk after this show. I'm gonna have to help this guy. He's trying to have a baby, but he's doing everything all wrong.
I mean, he has a dog now, so he's got,
That's baby
Step by
practice.
step,
That's
yeah.
what they call that,
Yeah.
baby practice. Do you care about preseason football?
No, I just don't want anybody getting hurt.
That's the thing. That's what
Yeah.
I was saying that last night, because the preseason is right around the corner next week. Preseason starts up, and if you are crazy, if you're a crazy person, let's say you're crazy,
I'm crazy.
you're a gambler.
Yeah. No, I mean, a little bit, yeah.
How much card player?
I don't
Okay, yeah, you're
regularly.
not
but
huge,
yeah.
Our good friends.
I was in college.
Our good friends at BetDSI, betdsi.com. Use the code PUNCH25. That'll get you 25 free bucks to gamble with. I highly recommend parlays, because if you're going to get 25 free bucks, even if you're not a gambler, it's a $25 pull of the wheel. You know what I mean? So why not just parlay it into, like, bet on 4 baseball games and try to, like, because if you win, you get like $300-400 on a parlay.
Yeah.
If you lose, I mean, who wants? You could put it on one fight and win $19 and then keep it rolling. But I say get crazy with it with parlay. I do not recommend preseason bets.
Oh, dude, I was in
If you're betting on the
I was in
preseason-
Vegas a few years ago, and it was 10 a.m. I started betting on spring training baseball. It was great.
See, and that's what it's like. Actually, that being said, why not?
Why not?
Why not? I recommend taking the under on every preseason football game you want to bet on, because the offense isn't clicking yet. A lot of these people that are playing aren't your marquee guys. You're not almost now. The unders are going to be set low, but I would take the under, because preseason football is not 35-28. It's not. It's usually like 13-3 and fucking shit like
but
that.
The problem to me is if you gamble on preseason football, you have to watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
That's
terrible.
true.
I hate watching preseason football. I
Preseason
can't
football
do it,
is hard to
man.
watch.
I can't do it.
My main thing with preseason football is just like, don't get hurt. Like, I don't want to see Julio Jones do shit in the preseason. I don't want to see Matt Ryan get touched. I don't want to see him sneeze. You know what I mean?
That's what I hate about Shady McCoy, though, is that he's one of those players that he's slow to get up after so many plays that, you watch a Bills game and your heart will skip a beat 3 or 4 times, because he's slow to get up, he limps, and then 2 plays later he's fine. It's like, fucking don't. I don't know. I don't want to say he's a football, don't act hurt. I mean, he probably is hurt, but goddamn.
It's scary.
It's scary as hell.
And especially in the preseason. There's nothing worse than an injury in the preseason that is meaningless.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're like, that guy shouldn't have even been in there.
I never get, like, when people tear ACLs in practice and stuff, and they always say it was a routine cut he was making.
But that is just part of the game. I mean, that's part of the game.
Aren't some athletes so athletic that, like, they're bound to pull muscles? Like Jordan Reed, the tight end for the Redskins?
That guy is the concussion king. He's a great fantasy tight end, but when he plays a full season, I don't think Jordan Reed will play 2 more years. And he's in the prime of his career. But I think he's 2 concussions away from someone going, dude, when you're 39, you're going to be 65 in the head. You know what I mean? When you're 45, you're going to be an 80-year-old man upstairs. Yeah. You know? Some people just keep getting dinged in the head.
I don't think he'll play more than 12 games in the season, or 10 games.
I can't remember the last time he did.
Yeah, I can't either.
He's apparently 100% healthy right now.
Oh, they always say that.
They do always say that. They do it, but not really about him. But he is apparently 100% healthy. But he is one, and you know, concussions are it's a progressive thing. So once you've had 2, you know, like people like Muhammad Ali, at the end of his career, you could snap your fingers in front of him and give him a concussion because he's had so many that it becomes your default. Yeah. Of, you know, it's easier and easier and easier and easier to get one. You know, you put on a baseball hat and get a concussion. Yeah. Some of those guys, you know what I mean? Brushing your teeth, you fucking get a concussion. God. And Jordan Reed is closely becoming that. Yeah. Gronk has had a surprisingly large amount of concussions as well. He just seems like
concussions. I thought it was more like just leg injuries.
No, he's had quite a few concussions, and he's been kept out of games for concussions and practices as well. But he just seems like the kind of guy that's like, of course, my mom gets concussions. Like the whole Gronk family gets concussions.
I think he was born with a concussion.
Yeah, he just seems like that kind of like.
I was going to ask how you can tell.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
He got one out of the womb.
Like Jordan Reed doesn't seem like that, but yeah, like Gronk seems oddly off if he's not concussed. You know what I mean? he seems like you're like, oh shit. But what about this? Did you guys see? I don't know if I find this endearing or I'm sick of it. I don't know. Endearing or sick of it? That's the new segment. All this LeBron James playing basketball with these 8th graders and coaching his son who's in 8th grade. And did you see when he's doing layup drills with?
And the kid that flipped him, or not flipped him, yeah,
shot him with the arrow. No, that was the day before.
Okay.
And then the next day, he's just doing like layup drills with all these 8th graders, and it was so funny because all these memes were happening where it's like AAU and all this, where they're like, "There's no way this guy's in 8th grade." You know how there's always like the 14-year-old 8th grader that could dunk, and you're like, "Dude, you should be a sophomore in high school. Like you should not be." And so it's LeBron dunking and all these different things with all these kids. But his son just dunked the other day for the first time. Bronny, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great name.
Bronny after the paper towels?
Yeah. No, B-R-O-N-N-Y. No W.
Yeah.
So his son dunked for the first time at a game on camera, but 8th grade. He's 13. This guy's fucking just hammering down dunks. LeBron's kid. Ugh.
That's about the age that, you know,
right,
young
when people start fucking
athletes start dunking.
Yep, and you're like, God, that kid, he can dunk. I remember that when I was in 7th grade, there was this dude that could dunk. Craig Reed. Craig Reed dunked when we were 12, and we were about the same height. But he had a little bit more athleticism than I did.
Yeah.
He actually played for Wisconsin, went to play basketball for Wisconsin.
That's what I hated about basketball is that it's the one sport where athleticism really makes. Because my town, Oskaloosa, we played this town called Pella. They were like 20 minutes away. Uh-huh. And you know Kyle Korver?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's where he's from. And him and his brothers are all, you know, they're all named after K's. They all have a K first name. And his little brother was Clayton. And it's a Dutch town. And so everybody was like 5 inches taller than us. Yeah. And so like we always got our asses kicked. I remember I bet my girlfriend at the time, we were getting on the bus to go play Pella, and I'm like, we're going to lose. She's like, you're not going to lose. I'm like, I'll bet you $5. And like I bet against my own team, Pete Rose style.
Oh, that's nice.
And like Clayton Korver, like, you know, his brother played in the pros, and he schooled me. He freaking killed me. He was like scoring all over me, man. I was terrible.
I used to go see. We used to go watch Glenn Robinson.
Oh yeah.
Play. He was from Indiana. And
his son is playing now too, right?
He was the first person to. He went to Purdue.
Yeah.
And when I went to Ball State, when Purdue played Ball State, we went there, and I was like watching Glenn Robinson. He scored like 900 points in that game. But in high school, he was unbelievable. Mr. Basketball in Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
He was unbelievable.
He was the first pick overall.
First pick overall.
Grant Hill and Jason Kidd.
Yep, by Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And he was notorious for saying he wanted a $100 million contract. And the owner for the Bucks scoffed at that and said, I only paid $35 million for the team when I bought it. I bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $35 million.
That was Cole, right?
Draft
is
this
that the name?
19-year-old. Draft this 19-year-old, and he wants $100 million. It's like, sorry, Charlie, you're not going to get it. But, dude, talk about a guy that would just, everything was just a monster dunk. Everything was a monster dunk.
But he didn't have a Hall of Fame career. Like,
Absolutely not. Hall of Fame
what
talent.
happened? Was it
He had Hall of Fame talent.
the ego?
I think so, and I think he just kind of like, I don't know. I think he was kind of like a poor man's Sean Kemp.
Brody.
You got it. So Brody's coming up next, guys. So sorry about the short episode. Thank you and congratulations, man.
Thank you,
I'm so
brother.
proud of you.
Hey,
I've
we'll
known
do it
you your
tomorrow
entire
night.
time of being there, and I'm so proud of you
Thanks,
for getting
dude.
your name on the wall. It was such a fun night hanging out with all of you guys. Guys, come check me out at the dojo this week. Come check you out Wednesday at the Comedy Store.
Yeah. And
Tomorrow for your big Names Night show.
And if you're in Chicago, the 16th through 18th, please hit me up and I'll get you in.
Yep, and hit our friends up at SeatGeek. Use the code PunchDrunk, and hit our friends up at BetDSI. If you want to make any bets, preseason's around the corner. Take the unders and use the code PUNCH25, and that's just free money to gamble with, fuckfaces.
Yeah.
Sam's back next week. His cooldown's over. And our good friend Ryan Hill's having surgery today, so I hope that goes good. He's probably listening to this in about an hour. Guys, consider it sucked, would you? Thanks.